real cool. Pool players, 7 at the Golden Shovel. We real cool. We left school. We learned late. We strike straight. We sing sin. We thin gin. We jazz June. We die soon. Welcome to Straight Up. I'm Stella Winston. In this show, I'll read poems from African American women poets of the past. I begin with Phyllis Wheatley. Phyllis Wheatley was brought over as a girl slave in the year 1753. She was about 8 years old. She was purchased by the family called Wheatley. She was brought over on the ship called Phyllis, hence the name Phyllis Wheatley. She was blessed to have been placed in a family that educated her. They taught her how to read, write, and from what I've read, they took very good care of her. Well, she wrote poetry, and she had several of her poems published, but there was a debate at that time, of course, that the Africans were a different species, less human, not of the same intellect as the white man. Well, a tribunal was formed in Massachusetts, the state where she lived, to determine whether or not she was legitimate or not. Well, she went before this tribunal of 18 white men and performed for them and wrote for them to convince them that yes, she indeed was capable of such higher thought and production. And they actually wrote a document, signed it, and said, yes, Phyllis Wheatley, the slave, was capable of this. So she is known as the mother of African American poetry. The poem that I'm about to read is the poem that many African Americans dislike about her because to them it expressed such self-hatred. The name of the poem is On Being Brought from Africa to America. Now I'm going to read this. It's my prerogative how it should be read. And I'm going to read this as if it was written ironically, like satirically, like opposite of what you hear. On being brought from Africa to America, 'twas mercy brought me from my pagan land, taught my benighted soul to understand that there's a God, that there's a Savior too. Once I redemption neither sought nor knew. Some view our sable race with scornful eye. Their color is a diabolical dye. Remember, Christians, Negroes, black as Cain, may be refined and join the angelic train. Now I'm doing this show because I'm going to educate myself. And at the same time, maybe you'll be educated too, because I'm not really familiar with many of the African American women poets of the past. This next African American poet goes by the name of Frances Ellen Watkins Harper. She was born in Baltimore in the year 1825, and she died in 1911. I've read in this book, African American Poetry, that she was not only a poet, she also wrote many articles and essays and novels about racial and gender division amongst Americans. The first poem that I read of hers really, it touched me because it's something that I often wondered about as a child, about if I was a slave mother and to have my child taken from me. You know, my children are very near and dear to me. It's called The Slave Mother. The Slave Mother by Frances E.W. Harper. Have you heard that shriek? It rose so wildly on the air. It seemed as if a burdened heart was breaking in despair. Saw you those hands so sadly clasped, the bowed and feeble head? The shuddering of that fragile form that looked of grief and dread? Saw you the sad, imploring eye, its ever glance was pain, as if a storm of agony were sweeping through the brain. She is a mother pale with fear. A boy clings on her side, and in her girdle vainly tries his trembling form to hide. He is not hers, although she bore for him a mother's pains. He's not hers, although her blood is coursing through his veins. He is not hers, for cruel hands may rudely tear apart the only wreath of household love that binds her breaking heart. His love has been a joyous light that over her pathway smiled, a fountain gushing ever new amid life's desert wild. His lightest word has been a tone of music round her heart. Their lives a streamlet, blent in one. Oh, Father, must they part? They tear him from her circling arms, her last and fond embrace. Oh, never more may her sad eyes gaze upon his mournful face. No marvel, then, these bitter shrieks disturb the listening air. She is a mother, and her heart is breaking in despair.